Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hi, guys. Sorry for not doing podcast for 1 week. I missed one. I know that I'm a very bad person and I don't do whatever I promise, like being consistent. But the podcast is actually for my mental health and it's not for you. So I'm going to do a podcast whenever I want. This is the excuse that I want to use in order to cover the fact that I wasn't consistent with it. So, we had a pretty bad week the previous week and the week before that, but mainly the previous week. And this is a reason that I didn't do a podcast. Basically, we had a lot of accounts that they got hacked and other accounts that they got banned because of that. Let me tell you what is happening. First of all, how do I know that? I know it because whenever this is happening, there are three things that I'm seeing. First of all, a lot of jobs on Upwork that they talk about, I got hacked or my account got banned, I want it back. Second thing is that I start to see all of these errors and messages and some bugs in the platform, which means that Facebook is under attack. And the third thing is on some of my YouTube videos that I talk about hack accounts or I talk about customer support or whatever. There are people that are coming and they are putting comments like, "Hey, I really love the fact that this person helped me to get my account back." So, what is happening? People and scammers are getting information from other accounts, but they're not actually infiltrating them immediately. They're gathering all of this data and they do it all together. So when they have 50, 100, 500 accounts, then they just go and they do it immediately. Why? Because they know that this is creating chaos to Facebook and Facebook cannot actually go and fix all of these cases immediately. Is it because they are short-staffed? Is it because the customer support is not trained enough? For any reason, they are doing it like this. The way that they are doing it is that they are stealing accounts, they are hacking them, they are removing you from admin, then they are starting spending money to your account and you have to contact customer support. So if the customer support is flooded, you cannot stop them at the time, so they're going to spend more money on their account. That's the thing. They are even putting pixels and APIs to your accounts. I have accounts that they got hacked because apparently some owners are super stubborn and they don't want to put two-factor authenticator. And we still have the pixel there, the old pixel that the scammers were using. And to be honest with you, I could see that this pixel was active even 1 or 2 months after we removed it, after we told to Facebook and Facebook knew that these were scammers. So they understand that there is a very big gap in terms of the customer support for this case with Facebook, so they are exploiting the situation. Now, what Facebook is doing on the other side, Facebook is doing more parameters inside the algorithm, which means that whenever they have an attack, they go and they say to the algorithm that, look, we are having a problem, increase the security to that level, to that level, to that level. But that means that we're going to have some consequences on some other people accounts. So there are people that they're getting banned for no reason, and they are going to get their accounts maybe too late, or they're going to get them after 2-3 months. It doesn't matter. They're just the losses. Like in a war, we have some losses here and there, and not only troops. The same thing is happening with Facebook. This is a war between the scammers and Facebook, and some people that they're going to get in the middle, they're going to get hurt and they're going to be banned. So the situation is that we are having this issue, and for me, it's actually 3 steps to this. First step is that they gather, no, maybe 5. First steps, they gather all the accounts. Second step is that they go massively and they are going to use these accounts in order to send traffic to dropshipping sites or to sites that they should not do and get sales. Third step is that Facebook is going to start increasing the security after that. Fourth step is that we're going to get a lot of ad accounts banned and a lot of people that they tried, a lot of hackers are going to be stopped. A lot of accounts that they're spending for no reason, they're going to be stopped, and a lot of people are going to get banned for no reason. And then we have a period that Facebook is fixing all of that, leaking their wounds. And after that, we have also a period that there are people that are desperate of getting their ad accounts back, and they try with customer support. Or then it's the second phase of the scammers, that they try to take more money from these people from having Instagram accounts, that they're saying that I can get your account back. And I can see all of these messages after they do the hacking. Then immediately they come for 1, 2 days, 3 days. They are spamming my messages on my YouTube videos, and most probably other people YouTube channels, with these messages saying that they want to get it back, because this is also part of the process. Some people are going to get banned, and they say that they're going to help them, but they're actually scamming them for some amount of money, which is another situation that happened with me because recently I realized that there's a fake account which is called, I'm going to put a print screen here, I'm Konstantinos Official. It's not official, and it has another site which is called socialmediacoach.com, and basically this is a scammer who was trying to get someone from my channel to tell him that he can get his account back. This person contacted me. I told him that I don't know this account, and actually I think I saved him, but just to be sure, and if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sorry that I have done this, but I have banned both of them from my social media so that I will not be, because I don't want to get involved in the drama. First of all, I told him that it's not me, so it's not my fault after that point if he lost money to it. But also because it's super cringe to see other ad accounts or people pretend that they are you and they are talking like you, because I have seen also the chat messages that this person was sending. The fun fact of the story is that this person, while he was talking with the other person that was trying to scam, he actually sent me a message and he told me, hey, tell him that it's you and I'm going to give you X amount of money, for example, which is actually crazy. I told him to f*** off. And after that point, I also reported him. I put another 20, 30 people to report him, but it doesn't matter because Facebook doesn't give a shit, obviously, and nothing actually happened. But yeah, it was super cringe for me to see it. Just to take a context of whatever we're discussing here, keep into your mind that there is nobody who is going to help you get your ad account back. There are no shortcuts to it. You have to go through the process of customer support, unless if you have a contact with an agency that maybe has a Facebook rep that is going to help you do so. But be careful, because there are a lot of scammers that they're saying that they can do that and they can just take your money. I want to quote here one email that I got. It says, I need your massive help if possible. Someone has hacked my account and is now running Facebook ads. I've contacted Facebook, but they are not taking things into consideration. This person is from London. I don't know how he knows that, but I have no idea who exactly. They have posted an image too, which is against the Facebook guidelines, and therefore my Facebook account is disabled. So not only this person got hacked, his ad account is disabled, which is, by the way, this is the reason that the ad accounts are getting disabled. Some people, they might get disabled because Facebook thinks that they got hacked and it tries to stop the ad account from spending. The problem is the after that. Because after that, if you cannot take your ad account back because the customer support is poor, then this is a huge issue. And this is why when a lot of ad accounts are getting hacked, we see also a lot of ad accounts getting disabled because Facebook thinks that they got hacked. For example, if you are unfortunate enough and in the period that the hack is going to happen and you manage to have very good ads and you're scaling from 50K to 100K in a week, then most probably you're going to get banned because Facebook thinks that someone hacked you and they're spending more. So this is one thing to also consider. Of course, I replied to this person that I cannot help them. Also, I have seen this. By the way, this is just one of the many emails that I'm getting. And this is another Upwork post that I have seen, which is one of the many that I have seen, that says Facebook ads disabled, my Facebook ad account was hacked and changes were falsely applied to my credit card 4 times, and so I notified and they refunded me and disabled my ad account. The same Facebook page was then hacked, they took over my admin status and I have to start over. I created a new page, but it will not let me run ads. They are disabled and I need help getting it working again. So it's this crazy loop that you get again and again. After something is wrong, you get to the loop again and again. So the situation is that Facebook, you need to stop these people from, in my opinion, okay, the hacked accounts are hacked accounts and you can do nothing about it. You can just put some things to fix it. I have seen another new feature that it says whenever somebody is added onto your ad account, it's sending a message to the owner to approve it before they are going to be added. So this is another good feature that I'm seeing that most probably is going to solve this problem. And I'm sure there are other ways to solve this problem for people that are getting hacked so that their ad account is not going to be spent. I have seen, for example, in other ad accounts that in order for you to publish some ads, you need a two-factor authenticator. And so on and so on. After not every time, but after you logged in for some period and you do the first campaign, it's asking you for a two-factor authenticator. So I think that there are ways, and I think that it's not only I'm putting measures over here so that I can disable accounts. Maybe some of those are going to be hacked. Maybe some of those are not going to be hacked. But there's also have to be a very smooth process for the people that are getting hacked in order to get their accounts back. Okay? Because at the end of the day, these are the clients, Facebook, and you have to protect them because they're giving you their money. Another thing is that I met a guy who is using, for example, bot ad accounts, and they didn't let him actually to use his domain name. So he's actually buying new domain names, he's verifying them, he's running them on the paid ad accounts that he's having and so on. So for me, all of this situation with the domain names and buying ad accounts and stuff, it's actually creating an economy next to it, which I don't think that Facebook has something to take from. Because it's an economy next to the product of Facebook. But I think that all of these things should stop and people should run their ads from their own ad accounts that they are verifying with ID and everything so that we know who is advertising what. But at the end of the day, I want to say that it's not only about banning accounts, it's also about helping the people get their account back. Because there are numerous cases that I know people that they are getting restricted and they are calling them Facebook. They say that our team has reviewed that and they decided that you should not advertise anymore. And when you ask them why, they tell you, well, we cannot tell you. And then who is going to tell me if you're not going to tell me why I got banned? And the other thing that I'm seeing is that most probably there are a lot of uneducated people inside the customer support of Facebook, which they are trying to do their job, but they're just reading what they have to do in a series of automated responses, and they're just doing that. So maybe for you, for me, for someone else, their ad account is very important because they're advertising with it. But maybe for Facebook, someone is just eating a donut, drinking his latte, and he says, meh, I don't like this ad account, let's ban him. This is how I feel that the customer support is being done now on Facebook. And I don't think that there are any safety features in order to, no, because I have seen accounts that they have done nothing wrong to get banned and never get their accounts back. So in my opinion, I think that the whole process and the power that some people within Facebook have, it has to be revoked and it has to be given with a more fair justice system so that nobody would go through the process of getting banned, trying to do, because if you fix that, you are fixing also the problem of people buying ad accounts from other people or getting scammed from people that they say that they can give their ad accounts back. Anyway, I'm not going to focus more on this drama about the disabled ad accounts, but I think that you get my point. I think that this is a huge issue that eventually Facebook needs to fix, because at the end of the day, if you don't protect the people that they are giving you the money to continue doing that, what's the point of doing that? And okay, you can be very strict with who is going to advertise or not, and if they are scammers or not, but you have to protect also at the same time the people who are actually giving you their money. Now, I was talking with a friend, and he told me that hey, there is this woman that came to me. She worked with you, and she told me that she doesn't want to work with you anymore because of this and that. And I find it as a very interesting, story to say. So this was a woman that we were working together for the past three months, I believe, and it was a small account. I really liked the concept. And basically, the thing is that she had 3 advertisers before me. She had 0 results, and with me, she got good results. And the reason that we stopped, as she told to my friend that she wanted to start working with, is this. First of all, she told me that she stopped because she told him that she stopped because I didn't listen to her when she was telling me to scale. And by that, she's meaning that, for example, I was having one campaign spending $50 after I optimized it as a CBO. Her budgets were small, okay, not more than 200, 300 per day. And she was telling me, scale this campaign because it's doing well. And I was telling her, no, because this is a wrong way of handling a campaign. For those of you that you know me on the way that I'm stacking campaigns without scaling them, I don't agree to that. I believe that I should launch another campaign, optimize it all over again, and keep the assets because I don't want to disturb the balance of the assets. Anyway, long story short, this is one of the things. So basically, she was happy with the results that I was bringing, but she wasn't happy because I didn't follow the rules that she had in order to ruin the results that I was bringing, which is actually pretty crazy. And the other thing, which is actually very funny, is that she was always asking me, tell me how many products I should order. For example, if I'm selling the product X, how many should I order for the next 3 months? And I was telling her that I cannot tell you what to do with your stock. I'm here to sell your stock. I'm here not to tell you what to order. I'm not the business owner. This is her job. Her job is to take the risk of taking the stock, of actually ordering it, of finding a way to actually store it and everything. So this was one other major conflict that I had with her, in a very polite and good way. She was also very polite with me, and it's actually funny because some people think that, what do you want? Do you want me to take the responsibility of telling you to order 1,000 units and then not selling because Facebook is having a bad month? What do you want me to do? Take the risk for you? So it doesn't make any sense, For all of you that you are watching this podcast or listening to this podcast and you are business owners, you need to understand that from your end, you need to do your part. And you need to be the ones that you're making the decisions as an entrepreneur. Because if you're not an entrepreneur, then don't conduct business, okay? If you're asking from other people to take the responsibility for all of that. Anyway, another thing is that I was discussing with one of my students. We were having a discussion, and I could see that he was very impatient. P, this is for you. So I could see, for example, he was doing one campaign for 2 days, then he wanted to close it and start another one, and the same on and same on. Also, he wanted to close it during the middle of the day. I want to point out something. When you're starting one campaign, you need to be ready to support it for 2, 3, 4 days based on the results that you're getting. If you're getting good cost per unique link click at the start and CTRs, you have to let it for more, especially with new pixels, or don't do it at all. Because if you're starting a campaign, you're stopping it after 2 days. Then you're starting another campaign. You're stopping it after 2 days and stuff. At the end of the month, you're going to launch 15 campaigns if you close it every 2 days, and you're going to spend X amount of money without even having the same results as you would have by just leaving the campaign if it worth it, based on clicks, checkouts, all of that, if it worth it for a longer period of time. So the thing that I want to say is that if you have something that looks like it could get sales, support your decision or don't run it at all. If you support your decision, most probably at the end of the month, you're going to have much better results instead of just coming here and panicking and closing the ads here and there. And this is also another thing which comes with experience. Because when I was starting, also I was super anxious and I wanted to close campaigns and stuff. And that was an issue for me. And then I realized that I have to, which comes with experience basically, I realized that I have to be more flexible. I realized after iOS that I have to be even more flexible. Then I realized that with experience and after, for example, by mistake, you were leaving one campaign or you didn't want to close it because everything that you were doing up to that point, it was failing. Then you realize what is good and what is bad. But what I see with new advertisers is always this need of trying to do the other campaign, while Facebook is more about consistency and having something that it's actually working. You can see several of these examples on my videos that I have live case studies. Now, the most interesting thing of the previous week is Chat GPT. I just finished one video that I'm going to publish separately that I'm playing a little bit with the AI. ChatGPT is an AI program from OpenAI, which is actually helping you to create from email sequences to Facebook ad copies, of course. You can talk to it in a real time and say, for example, add emojis, remove the second paragraph, write a skincare copy brand, make this copy more appealing to 40 years old women. Don't mention their age, say it in a more polite way. Stuff like that. And you can have an interaction like this. I have actually a surprise for you in the video. I created a rap song with the AI telling how awesome Facebook advertiser I am. And you're going to listen it there. It doesn't have music. I'm just saying the words. And it's actually, if we consider that the social media, it's only 20 years old, and now we have an AI that's producing very good copy, because we had AIs before and programs that they were actually paid, that they were producing some good results, but I have never seen something so good. I need to tell you that I have tested it on Facebook ads and it's working better than the copies that I had, which is crazy. And the other thing that I need to tell you is that you can go there and you can spend hours. You can do many things. You can put a copy that you already have and tell it to improve it. All of these things, just go play with it, and I think that you're going to love it. In my opinion, for the people that they don't have big budgets and they have small budgets, this is the key. You can create the copies of your store, about us page, email marketing sequences, SMS. You can create your Facebook ads. Everything it can be created there. Do you know how much money you're saving out of that? A lot of money. So now, even for smaller budgets, you can go and you can play with it. I think that you're going to like it. It's called Chat GPT and you can find it on OpenAI. It's for free, by the way. Okay. So another thing, again, with one of my students, I was talking, and the situation is this. I was talking about, I think we were discussing about, yeah. I think we were discussing about, we were running ads in a German country, and we were using the English language, and we were doing this during Black Friday. And he told me that, hey, look, the English language is working on the German country, so we should use it again. Don't take whatever is happening on Black Friday as granted, because whatever happens on Black Friday stays on Black Friday. And what I'm trying to say with this is that whenever you're seeing something on Black Friday, it doesn't mean that it's going to continue being like this in the other normal periods. So you can test it if you want to see if it's going to work. Just don't be super obsessed with it just because it worked on a Black Friday. Black Friday is a very specific situation, and we should not treat it like it's a normal situation. Okay, it's, as we call it here in this channel, an attack period, and we should treat it like this. And when you see things working on Black Friday, it doesn't mean that necessarily are going to work later. And I'm seeing this mistake being done a lot. For me, it's the same mistake like when you're having an ad account, for example, which is working with $100 budget CBO and 10 ad sets, and then you try to do the same thing in all the other ad accounts. No, you should do whatever is working. Maybe in another ad account, you need 8 ad sets because it's spending super fast or super slow. Maybe you need 12 because you're having an item which is having a lower cost per purchase, whatever. So the situation is that you should not just, you should test things that they have worked in the past. Don't be fixated with them. Try to see if they're working again. And if they don't, try to improvise and try to do new things based on the videos that you see on YouTube with different strategies or with the technical knowledge that you have. Try to explain why it's not working now. What else should I do? What has changed? And so on and so on. Another thing that I find very interesting, I just want to mention it here. I'm going to put a print screen. Sorry for the people that they listen it from the Spotify or whatever, but I'm going to try to explain it. Automatic placements, okay? So Facebook is becoming even more spookier. After the Advantage Plus, which is automatic placements anyway, they put more and more features in order to push the automatic placements thing. And here I have a print screen of before and after. So it says placements, and then when you hover over it, you can see the edit button. And when you press the edit button, you can see all of the placements. And even inside the placements, there are drop-down menus that you can see all of the placements on Facebook and stuff. Because if you don't click them, they're just trying to hide it more and more. Now, for those that you haven't seen my video, this is what is happening with automatic placements. Automatic placements are, for me, one of the biggest revenues for Facebook. Why? Because when you are analyzing the results, by the way, the breakdown of results is coming back. Very good. The thing is this. We're having back the breakdown of results, which means that it's going to expose more that the automatic placements are not working. I don't know if it's going, I think that it's already back on purchases and stuff. I have seen it in several accounts, and there are other changes that are coming, like the attribution model. We're going to talk a little bit about it. So first of all, we have the automatic placements, which means that you're using all the placements, Messenger, WhatsApp, audience insights and stuff, how they are called. When you're breaking down the results, when you're having results and you see what worked and what didn't, you can see that most of the sales are coming from Facebook feed, Instagram stories for sure, and a little bit from Facebook stories. Maybe you're going to see a very random sale here and there on audience insights and stuff, but even when we didn't have the breakdown of results, we could see that after some point, Facebook was optimizing for all the other placements just with $1 or $2, and then it was leaving them and it was optimizing to the 4 ones that are actually working. But what does this mean? Why Facebook is pushing the automatic placements? There is only one reason, and I want to be very clear about it. Imagine you spending all your money in Facebook feed, Instagram stories, and Facebook stories. But imagine now, instead of doing that, spending 30 cents or 20 cents or $1 or $2 in all the other placements, okay, which is, I believe, 26 or 18, something like that. And multiply that with 26, multiply that with all the ads that you're going to do, and multiply that with all the ad accounts that there are there and all the businesses that are there. So you can understand how much money they make just out of thin air, just because you're testing automatic placements and 30 cents are going to be spent there. Okay, you lost 30 cents. Why do you care about? Your ads are optimizing for this, for Facebook feeds now, and you're having sales. Fine, but I care so much because you're pushing so much the content, the automatic placement thing, when only the 4 placements are working, just so that you can increase your revenue by that. And for me, this is why Facebook is pushing it so much, because it's increasing their revenue all the time that you're using automatic placements. And the fact is that, look, Facebook, if you want to take 30, 60, 70 cents per other placement and you're giving me good results, fine, let it be. Take this money, I'm going to use automatic placements, and after that point, you can do whatever you want if you're giving me, as long as you give me the results that I want. I just want them to admit it, Just go and say, hey, we're using automatic placements because this is what we want. This is our platform. We're going to use it as this. Do it or don't do it if you don't want to. Nobody invited you to advertise here. You came on your own. Fine. It would be better. Just don't try to tell us that automatic placements are good and they're going to drop CPMs and stuff, because this is total BS and it's not going to happen. And the thing is that only the 3 placements are going to work, and everything else is just going to go into Facebook's pocket. So this is my problem with automatic placements. And my problem is that I'm not saying that you cannot have results, because Advantage Plus is having results, for example, okay? I'm just saying that be honest with it and admit it, that you want it only because you are making more money out of it. Now, in other news, the 28 days attribution is coming back at the end of December. In some accounts, it's already there. Now, the difference is that it's going to be on the attribution setting on the ad set level on the bottom, and where you can put your bids for manual bidding, cost cap and stuff. If you press show more, you're going to see the attribution setting. For now, we're using the 7 days click, 1 day view. But now they say that it's going to have also the 28 days 1 day view. Why is this important? The way that it's going to be used, for example, if you are selling t-shirts, I still think that you should go with 7 days click, 1 day view. But now we are opening so many more businesses that they can come to advertise, like furniture stores, for example, okay, which is one of the most impacted fields and niches after the iOS changes. And I explain. So when you buy a sofa, 7 days is a very small period for someone to decide if they're going to buy a sofa or not. So before that, we had the 28 days, and I can tell you that it was working flawlessly. I had people in the furniture niche, and we were selling very well, because it needs more time for someone to go and buy a sofa. So now we're going to have this option, which means that a lot of these companies are going to come back to Facebook to start advertising all over again. On the other hand, I know that these companies have switched to a model, because I have done it also with some of them, of getting first the lead and then try to convert them as a sale. But the thing that we were doing inside Facebook is to get them leads, the best possible leads. So maybe now they're going to do both, since they have already the call center and everything set up from the previous period. Maybe they can have also the leads, but they can have also the 28 days attribution. Maybe it's going to be retargeting. Maybe it's going to be, for example, targeting and then retargeting with 28 days attribution for these companies. Maybe it's going to be cold traffic ads with 28 days attribution. These are things that we have to test and see how the new attribution is going to work. But other than that, I feel like the 28 days attribution is very good for the companies that they have high ticket items. I think that for the other companies, nothing is going to change, because whoever is going to use 28 days attribution in a company that is selling t-shirts, I think that it's a person that is super insecure of his results, and he's trying to inflate the results that he can give to the clients. Last thing that I have here from my topics for the week is that for all of those that they have a new business, completely new pixel, or another account that's not spending a lot, it doesn't have to be a pixel that was created yesterday. There is a funding opportunity coming from Facebook that you can actually go and you can do an Advantage Plus campaign, and Facebook is match 1/3 of your investment. For example, if you spend 10K, Facebook is going to give you another 3,300, so you will spend in total 13.3K. This is something that I'm using in one new account that we're having that doesn't have a lot of data. Of course, I think it needs a minimum investment of 10K. So if some of you have, you have organic traffic, for example, in your store, and you want to start running ads within Facebook, it's better to spend 13K and the 3K is going to be free instead of spending 10K without a free credit. I'm just letting you know in case you want to do it. It's pretty straightforward. I have done it. They just give you a coupon code that you apply, and you just have to let it run until the end of the month. And keep your eyes open, because more and more and more things are going to come as credits, opportunities for January. I'm sure about that, especially with Advantage Plus campaigns. Just ask your Facebook representative or try to see if you can open a customer support and ask for that. Now, that's for the things that I have noted for the week. Let's go to some of the comments that I have seen and I want to answer. We have Manuel here. It says, "Hi Konstantinos, I'm running only Advantage Shopping Plus campaigns with a small crazy method with my new Pixel, because this delivers the best results at the moment." Exactly, Manuel. Good for you that you are actually using whatever is working for you, but with the way that you are writing, I think that you have tested also other things and you have seen that this one works the best. But sometimes Facebook algorithm suddenly shows my ads to the wrong audience because bounce rate on sites suddenly doubles for several days. What can I do about it? And in general, what would you recommend testing with a new Pixel about 100 sales? First of all, about testing, I think that you should test everything. When you have a new Pixel, you need to test everything. You need to test all of my methods, see what is working, what doesn't. The ultimate, but we're going to say this in the next comment. The ultimate goal of the account is to go to the broad targeting, but I will explain it in a little bit. Now, about the new Pixel, it's very common, super common, for a new Pixel, when it's having some success, to stop working after some time, and then you try to do it again, and then you try to do it again, and again. The consistency of the ads and having ads working for a long period is coming on the trained pixels and the trained ad accounts, not on the new pixels. On the new pixels, it's always a battle. So whenever you are having some good results, then maybe your campaign is going to die. You have to relaunch it, or you will have to start a new one with new creatives and so on. Nobody said that it's easy to start with a new pixel. Also, 100 sales is nothing. This pixel is super new, unless if you are in a very specific niche, which is very small. But other than that, I need you to understand that this is a battle that you need to do again and again, and you will see that by the time the consistency is going to improve, and you will be able to start using lookalikes, broad targeting and stuff, and that your pixel is going to be better. But now your pixel is actually being lost or targets the wrong audience because it's not so strong enough in order to know the ideal avatar of your clients and in order to be able to do it again and again and again. It's just finding some success. It finds more people after that success, but maybe at some point it's lost. So it has to start all over again. So this is what I want you to understand from that when you're having a new pixel. It's super inconsistent and it happens all the time. Now, another question from Elon. Hello, Liris Konstantinos, I have a question. I have a pixel that have generated about 40-50 lifetime purchases, and about 20 of those purchases are from the latest 28 days. This is nothing, by the way, okay? If you consider this a lot, this is nothing. So now I want to move to broad targeting. I know that my pixel will not be trained enough for a large audience, for about 60 million people. So to narrow down the audience by the age range of 40 to 42 US women, just to make the audience smaller, which is about 5 million people. Do you think that this idea will work or not, since this age range is a good range for my product? So, first of all, your way of thinking is creative. Good. But it's not going to work. If it's going to work, it's going to work by luck. And the thing here is this. It doesn't matter what your audience is and you think that it is. What matters here is what your pixel understands about your audience. And I'm explaining more. Each ad account and each pixel needs to go to the point that you will be able to target from interest to broad, to lookalikes, and then to broad targeting. This is the ultimate goal for each account. Why? Because broad targeting is huge, you can scale, it's more consistent, and then your pixel is doing the work and you don't have to give, the directions. But what is the interest and the lookalikes? It's a direction to the pixel. It means that your pixel is not ready. It needs help. The more you're going to move, the more, as I explained to the previous question to manual, I believe, to manual, the more you're doing this, the more you're going to see that your pixel is going to become consistent and consistent. But over here, we're having a situation that you're trying to go to broad targeting, just skipping steps when your pixel is not ready. It doesn't matter how big the audience is. Even in 200,000 people, if you don't give direction to your pixel is not ready yet to understand who to target. So if it's going to work like this, it's going to work by luck because you were fortunate enough to target some people that they actually converted. So the audience is not, so basically two things. We are using broad targeting because it's very broad and it's very big and it's helping us to scale. And we're using it because our pixel is ready to actually find people without these big audiences. But you taking this broad audience and making it smaller so that the pixel can work, it's not the idea over here. Because your pixel is not going to work because the audience is much smaller. Your pixel is going to work with interest and lookalikes, and then when it's ready, it's going to be able to work. So the size and the potential reach of the audience, it doesn't matter. What really matters is if your pixel is strong enough to work without any direction, like an interest or a lookalike audience. But I really like your way of thinking, and I really enjoyed answering this question to my Facebook group. Now, I have a print screen over here from a job post. It says, "We need Facebook ads promotion service. Hello, dear sir, how are you? We need professional Facebook ads promotion service for our new business. Our budget is $5. If you can do it for me, then please bid here. Login access and all the info are going to be given after the interview." Guys, if you're asking from someone to do your ads for $5, I don't know what kind of, service are you expecting from this person. In my opinion, don't do it at all. Okay. And what kind of budget are you going to have? If you have a budget, if you spend for someone $5, most probably you have a budget of $10 or $20 per day. If this is not enough in a daily level, don't do it, because the daily budget it's what really matters, and not the budget that you're going to have in a monthly basis. In other words, I'm seeing this post and I'm actually worried. And to be honest with you guys, sorry to say that, but Facebook is not for everyone. If you don't have the money to advertise on Facebook, just don't advertise on Facebook. Just try to do something else. Okay? Try to find another way of getting sales or whatever. But just because you have seen other people advertise on Facebook, it doesn't mean that every business should advertise on Facebook. I just don't get it. Are you that delusional, or you are thinking that with $5 you can have sales, or you're having high hopes because this is your only chance of succeeding? Sorry, but life is cruel, and if you want to do it properly, you need to have some money that you're going to spend, and you need to keep spending also in order to get to the point. It's not so easy, and the more the years are passing by, we're talking about AI right now, and we're talking about other things. People are evolving, and the competition that you're going to have, it's going to be more and more and more. So you coming with a very small budget, it's not going to get you anywhere. Okay? Try to think like this. Sometimes when I'm thinking of something, I'm thinking, am I the smartest person in the world? The answer is no. Am I the only person in the world that I have thought of that? The answer is no. Am I smart enough to be the only person that I have thought of that? The answer is no. So if it was like this and it was that easy, everybody would start an e-commerce store by spending $5 into the person who is going to do the ads and another $20 per day. but it's not so easy. You have to understand that the competition is fierce and you're going to have huge issues in order to succeed with this kind of results. Now, let's go to another post that I have seen here. Guys, it says Facebook ads, e-commerce products, scaling high ROAS, only experts. And it says here that we launched 3-step program, sales funnel, and says looking for a Facebook ad media buyer with 5+ ROAS in e-commerce, wellness, health, fitness niche. I'm going to give you a print screen below that it's one of my ad accounts with 6.72, 98K spent in the last 28 days. Does this mean that if I go to any account, I'm going to have 6 ROAS or 5 ROAS? What kind of way of thinking is that? Why are we thinking that every business is the same? So this person is thinking, what do I want? I want to go live in Dubai and have 0% taxation. How much do I need? I need 5 ROAS on my ads. I'm going to hire someone to give me 5 ROAS. Do you think that it's that easy? Seriously, it actually annoys me and I cannot understand it. So someone like me is coming and it's giving you one result like this and he's saying, okay, I'm getting 6 ROAS. Are you going to hire him? Are you that naive? Just because they gave you a print screen, I can show it to you in a live account, for example. Do you think that every business is the same? Do you think that the cost per purchase are the same? The average order values of each store are the same. How can you ask for 5 ROAS? How do you know what kind of ROAS you're going to get into your ad account? I don't really get it, and I don't understand. Oh, it's getting even better below because it says send us the expected results with 70 daily budgets. So this person wants me to take this ball over here, okay, and actually try to predict the future with it, okay? So the situation is even worse. So either this person, yeah, there's no either. This person is clueless from Facebook ads. It's okay because he or she is going to learn with the hard way by someone giving him promising earth and water and doing nothing. Or he's going to start doing the ads on his own, or he's going to start spending and he's going to be disappointed. But coming as a business owner and saying that I want to get 5 ROAS, if you had another account and you were getting 5 ROAS and you say, hey, I want to scale by maintaining the 5 ROAS, okay, we can discuss about it. But if you come and you say, hey, we start a business right now, we want to have 5 ROAS, tell us what kind of results you're going to give us with $70 per day. So if I tell you 70 multiplied by 30 is 2000 multiplied by 5. Okay, I'm going to answer to him, hey, this is my results. I believe that with 70 daily, the results that we're going to get is 10,500 with a 2,100 spent per month. And is this person going to hire the other person? Is it going to believe him? Because if someone tells you that, I think that you should fire him and you should block him and you should not talk to him because it means that this person is clueless from Facebook ads. So I don't know. I think that when I'm seeing this kind of stuff, I'm super tilted and I don't understand how some people are thinking. But there's a very strong reality check which is coming and slapping them on the face. And then they realize that what they were asking, it was just stupid. Another strange message that I have seen on Facebook is this message over here that it says, by the way, this is retargeting, and it says that in order for me not to get 0 sales, I need to expand my audience to 1 million people. I'm actually wondering who is thinking of these messages and how these messages are being populated. But Facebook, if I had to target 1 million people in my custom audiences with retargeting, most probably I put also 0 possibilities of getting 0 purchases with that. So asking for me to increase my audience of how can I increase my custom audience of retargeting to 1 million people? I just don't get it, And then we have another message over here, which is a job post. It says, actually, Sodria, you're going to love this. Look, it says, I need 4,000 hours watch time on my YouTube channel. And it says, hello everyone, I need a social media expert. I have a YouTube channel and I need YouTube channel watch time within 2 or 3 days. Okay. By the way, guys, for us it took us 1 year and 3 months to get 4,000 hours of watch view, and he says that he wants to go to the AdSense and stuff. If anyone has a fresh channel, then send me a screenshot. I need this fast. No, it doesn't say that. It says he needs it in within 2 or 3 days. So he wants to have a fully monetized YouTube channel in 2 or 3 days. If you find someone like this who is going to do this for you, I think that me and Sotiria, we have to do and right tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if this person is actually. Do you know what triggers me? That I don't know if this person actually knows what he's talking about, and he has done it several times, and we are the clueless ones here, or it's actually clueless and he doesn't know how difficult it is. Anyway, I have 2 more print screens before we close the podcast. One of them, it's actually one of my freelancer diaries, and it is this one. I'm just going to read it, and I'm going to say that people can get super creative inside Upwork, and I'm not even going to comment it. So it's this post here that says, beautiful art turns me on. Make me come with your brush strokes. Okay, so no comment to that. Just saying what I see from day to day on Upwork. And I'm going to close with one thing. So Upwork recently changed the way that it's working. And by the way, back in the days, you were having one job, and each job they had specific connects. What is a connect? Connect is the currency of Upwork and the way it's working. So back in the day, you were going to have 120 connects for a month. They were enough. And you can buy more connects if you want. And you were having these connects, and you were bidding in a job that maybe it was having 2, 8, 10 connects. Okay. Now they put a bidding system. And they have a bidding system that you can go and you can say, I'm bidding 50 connects. I'm bidding 60 connects. It's extremely hard because I have students, for people that they don't have very good, strong profiles to bid on that system, for people who don't have money to bid on that system. And recently, I have seen that, which is the first place 100 connects. I'm not going to go into details of how the bidding system works and stuff because it's boring. But I have seen this, which is 100 connects. 100 connects, by the way, it's something like $20. If you are bidding $20 for a job, which you don't know if they're going to hire you or not, I would just like to close. I would just like to close this podcast by saying. And I'm saying to my team that I don't want you to translate that, but whoever did this, τη μάνα του. Αυτά, κλείστο. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.